Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Chronicles. And if you are from Pennsylvania or anywhere in the Northeast, for that matter, we got dumped on this past weekend with snow. It's actually still flurrying outside the window here, but I figured this would be a perfect time. We've been sticking with the fly fishing gear, so being we got 3+ feet of snow in certain areas, more than that in other areas. Monic, which I introduced you to last week with their Henley Clear Phantom Tip line. I figure with snow, temperatures in the 20s, why not introduce their Icicle line? So as I briefly brought up last week, is the Icicle line from Monic, and this happens to be in a 5-weight. Goes from 4 through 12, so fresh and salt water. But what's really cool about this line is basically meant for anything from 100 degrees down to freezing or below. So perfect, this time of year when you're trudging through snow drifts to get to the water. This is the line you're going to want to have. So this is what they call their javelin taper. Gives you a little bit better casting ability. It's a 6-foot tip, and speaking of length, I wanted to correct myself. It's a 15-foot clear tip section on the Henley Clear Phantom Tip. I said it was 30 feet in the last video, and I apologize. It's 15 feet. So this has a 6-foot head going to an 8-foot belly, and then back to a 16-foot belly, and then to your rear taper. And this is their relaxed braided core, so that's why it's good for this type of temperature. It's not going to hold memory. It's not going to get super tough to deal with. So I have this spooled up on a Jackson Hole Fly Company Grizzly 5-weight, and I'm just trying to pull some of the line off here for you. And of course, all of my reels are left-hand retrieve, so my hand gets in the way when I'm doing this. But you have welded loops on both ends, and it is that nice, if it would not vibrate in the camera, there we go, nice white colored line, so you'll be able to see it on top of the water. But again, their lines just feel so much different, but you could tell how flexible they are. They don't have coil to them. Now this has been on this spool since last week. I basically went through my entire bag and spooled up all my line. So there's no memory buildup from being sitting there, spooled up on that reel, and just super nice coating. It doesn't burn your fingers when you're running it through if you're holding it tight to reel it in to keep it tight on the spool. It doesn't burn your fingers. Where a lot of the old lines that I used, it always felt like it was burning the skin. Now I mentioned last week as well that the Monic lines are either below or above the AFTA standard grain weights. This is actually a half step above the standard AFTA grain weight, so you could probably use this on a 6-weight rod and it'll load it up just fine. I try to keep all of my stuff relevant to whatever rod it is, and we have a couple rods that we're waiting for. Keith got some of the rods that he'll be using this year, which he saw a picture the other day from Jackson Hole. He got a full Grizzly reel with a Yellowstone rod, and the Yellowstone reel almost like a package in a 4-weight. He also got a Moonlit rod in a Lunar S-Glass, so you'll start seeing some of that stuff as well. But I figure with temperatures the way it is and tons of snow on the ground, we're jonesing to get on the water because obviously we can get out and fish before we can turkey hunt here in PA. So fishing is definitely heavily on the brain. You'll see some other product that we got in, but again, guys, Monic, I literally can't wait to get out and fish these lines. I'm gonna hopefully, now they're calling for another possible storm this coming weekend. I was hoping to go fish some of the year-round open water here in PA. There's a couple delayed harvest areas that we can go out and fish, just so I can try out, get on the water with these lines. But we'll see what happens. If they're calling for another 1 to 2 feet of snow, obviously I'm not trudging neck deep in snow to get to the water. So Monic, you're under $80 for a 90-foot spool line. Again, 4 through 12 weight, no PVC, no chemicals, all the good stuff that you want. And again, this is the Icicle. It's 90 feet, and basically you get a little up close and personal here with their taper guide. And what really is cool, so you can probably see I wrote what reel I put this on, but what they do give you inside the package, and let me open this up. So on the spool of line itself, you will see a sticker, but on the inside of the package, they give you another sticker so that you can dab it on to your reel and know which one it was. So that's always a bonus. Again, these guys are out of Boulder, Colorado. Phenomenal response to all of our emails and everything we've been sending over to these guys. And so that last week I did mention their first line was released in 1994, so it's actually established. 1995 is when they actually brought it to market. So kudos to these guys. They have some awesome lines, a whole slew of them. You'll see a couple others as we progress, and hopefully once all these other rods and whatnot that we're waiting for get here, we'll start doing some demos when there's not 4 feet of snow on the ground out in the yard, and then on the water as well. So stay tuned, guys. We'll talk to you soon.